Hi everyone, Marauders here, and today I'm gonna take a quick test on this RadioShack UMold plastic just to see exactly what does it do. Essentially, from what I can tell, it's basically a PCR material. Should be something that they use in 3D printers. But the interesting thing here is that it melts by 60 degrees Celsius. So that means it actually melts very easily, and it should be quite easy to use more using your hands, which that's what they mention here. So sets in minutes, and you can dye it, and you can actually reuse it because you can just melt it in 60 degrees, melt it again and get it to go again. Okay, so let's give this a try. So it's a little bag. I just got this morning. A Ziploc bag. Let's tear it open. Great. It's in. There's some sort of zip break on this Ziploc bag. I'm gonna have to cut it. Okay. Cuts the bag. Open it up. Let's see what we have here. So there's a bunch of white plastic balls. So I guess I'm just gonna give it a test here. I have a mug of water here. It just came out from the hot pot about 10 minutes ago. The hot pot was temperature controlled at 90 degrees, so should still be hot enough. I guess I'll just work it a little. 2 spoonfuls. Oops. So I'm gonna drop one. And I'm gonna drop second spoonful. Okay. Now the instructions say that once heated and is ready to be molded, it will be transparent. So we're just gonna leave it in there, and let's see. Well, looks like I made a mistake just now. The water was already too cold, so I just dumped out the old one and just pulled off a new batch from the hot pot, and look, they're already transparent. So you can start working with it once I figure out how to take this out of the cup. Maybe I should get a fork. Okay, let's see now. The material has, most of the balls have fused into one piece like this. So like a crystalline structure right now, and it feels slightly sticky, but doesn't feel like it's actually like any glue. It probably won't stick to anything. So I guess I can try and work it now. I'm gonna stick it out. Oh, feels like lo mai fan. That's gluttonous rice for you non-Chinese speaking people. I think I actually folded some water in there. That wouldn't be good. Interesting. It feels like melted Play-Doh, which is again interesting. As it feels like Play-Doh, I wonder what I can do with it. And it actually feels quite solid. Let's see. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Yikes! Okay. Water is definitely not very comfortable. Okay, let's just try and make something stupid. So I'm gonna. tube-like thing. Okay, that's my body. Hot, hot, hot. Break off another one. Heat them, want to make them a bit soft. Okay. They stick to each other quite easily. They want to stick to each other, I would say. They don't seem to want to stick to anything else. They're not even sticking to my hands. They only want to bond to the actual polymer itself, but not to anything else. That's an interesting thing to note. So you probably don't want to use this to try and join and repair anything. Although if you want to use it to mold into little items, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, as you can see, this is becoming clear white already, so it's probably hardening. That's why it's harder to stuff these two things in here. I should just keep this in the hot water for a while. But it's not becoming clear. And my fingers are being burned. It's not becoming any clearer. I guess the water isn't hot enough. Okay, I really should have brought that hair dryer. Okay, now time for style. I'm just gonna I want to make a leg, but now I'm gonna end up with sort of like a signpost like thing. I guess a food lamp or a hair dryer would help, as long as anything to keep it hot. Okay, I have no idea what I just did. I want to make a person, but since let's just make a ghost or something. And I still have a glob here. Surprisingly, the glob that was in the water constantly hasn't fully clouded yet, so that means that water is actually quite the fact that it doesn't stick to anything means that it might be easy to make a wrapper or something. Let's try and make a personalized fork for myself. I'm just gonna create a sort of handle. Put in the hot water to try and ease it off so I can smooth out the surface. Okay, not really a person that knows how. This is not something that I know what I'm doing here. Just giving it a try. Okay, this thing has almost fully clouded back. Okay, I'm gonna run these two things underneath the tap water and we'll see if they solidify. Okay, so I run it under the tap water now, so you can see that this is fully opaque. And of course, as I mentioned, the things don't want to stick to each other, and of course I didn't do it properly just now, but they do feel like plastic. It is quite hard, slightly rubbery, but generally quite hard, even though they didn't want to stick to each other. So it would mean that this should work as a means of fashioning some sort of spare part. If something broke off or something, then you can use it to glue it to some other piece. Well, I guess if you don't have a 3D printer, having this does help, since at least the material works well to build plastic-like constructs. And I can feel it moving since I didn't push it in tight, but you can see I can feel that it's very hard, so I can snap it just like it's normal plastic. There we go. There, I can open it up. So it is slightly malleable, not like plastic. It's not fully hard. I guess I can snap it eventually. Okay, so now the test is how reusable is this. And just go get a fresh cup of water and dump this in. Okay, so I have a fresh cup of 90-degree water, and in the parts go. Okay, it's already becoming transparent again, becoming a gel-like state again. The interesting thing was with the pellets, by pouring it into the thing, it was immediately apparent that it became transparent pretty much instantaneously. But now, probably because the surface area is different, so it's taking a while to become transparent. If I look at you can see that the core is still white, but the exterior is clear. So I guess it will take more time to revert back to its gelatinous state. Probably need to use boiling water if you want to change it back from a solid form. Use much hotter water. Maybe something that's like 98 degrees or something. Okay, the large fork handle that I had just now is almost fully clear. The body still isn't clear. That cube. How hot? Okay, water's hot. The water is definitely hot. I guess if you really working on this with this stuff, you might want to have your water in a heater bowl or something, so that it's constantly heating it up. Because if you're gonna rework this, since it takes so much time to heat back up, to become to melt again, you might want to be able to keep the water to be at the constant hot point. Now it is interesting that it isn't sticky and it doesn't really melt into a drip. It just stays as a sort of gel. I guess I could break out the single solid part and expose it to more hot water. Okay. Let me grab it out. Oops. Youch! Okay, that's hot. I should take some of my kids' Play-Doh molds and see how well it works with those. What I'm gonna do now is, since I know I won't be able to reshape it now if I run down to get the mold, I'm going to stretch it out into a thin film first. So that there'll be more surface area to get hit by the hot water in the second run afterwards, as I try to reheat it. I'm just going to keep it in there. Ouch. Okay. Probably should wear some sort of protective glove or something. I guess I should probably get a thermos. So I guess in summary, what I could say is that what this UMold plastic, or rather this PCL plastic is, if you don't have a 3D printer, what you can feel is that this is actually a little bit like, think of it as you're playing with candle wax. When it's cold, it's solid, you heat it up, you can reshape it to whatever you want, and then when it cools down, it's pretty hard. So you can try and make all these nice interesting sculptures that they mentioned. And one of the interesting things here is that unlike trying to shape a repair part with epoxy, it doesn't stick to your hands, so that's definitely something to consider about. Now, other than that, how it's sort of like poor man's moldable plastic for people who can't find or can't afford a 3D printer. Definitely interesting, and I can see some interesting uses for this thing in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, see you guys around.